What up, friends? Geoff Fienberg here with you Wednesday night on Memorial Eve. Geoff Fienberg Show presented by FTN Daily Prize Picks. Thank you very much for being here with us this evening. Well, that start couldn't have been more awkward, but hey, we'll power through it. Lots of golf talk here tonight. I am just sort of hearing multiple things, so I'm trying to kill volume and at the same time mixing up the host and the presenting sponsor of my show, PrizePicks, PrizePicks.com, promo code FTN, 100% instant match bonus up to $100. It's you versus the projections over at PrizePicks.com. They got a ton going on for the Memorial this week over at PrizePicks. I'll be getting in to my Memorial Power Play here in just a moment. Soon enough, Skylar Hoke from Team FTN will be joining me on the show talking some Memorial Golf. And there's a couple other things I'd like to get Skylar's opinion on. I'll even talk some U.S. Women's Open, Olympia Fields, site of Webb Simpson's great win, which cost me a lot of money because I had Jim Furyk that day. But we got that great shot out of it of the, I don't know what we want to call it, a streaker. What do you call that guy? That just sort of interrupted the trophy ceremony. And haven't spoken to Skylar in a while, so there are a few like long range golf things I'd like to talk to him about. And just a heads up, no, it doesn't involve Bryson and Brooks. That's a promise. Although maybe that would come up. He's a big Brooks guy. Yeah, we'll see. I could talk to Skylar about just about anything, but keen to get his picks, especially European Tour, Women's U.S. Open, and obviously we'll break down the Memorial at Jack's Place. Lots of conversation about the course. Long, difficult, should be a lot of fun. Expecting that winning score in that 8 to 12 under range, which always makes for very exciting weekend golf on the PGA Tour. I have made my Thursday power play over at Prize Picks, guys. PrizePicks.com. Use that promo code FTN. I rave about the interface, but I tell you, it is one of the easiest sites to move around, jump from sport to make your multi-sport power plays, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, MLB's in full go. Golf is going to be here through the weekend. We got the fights back this weekend as well. But here, before you know it, certainly European Euro Championship. Euro. What do we call it? The Euros? What do we call it, Tino? It's European Championship, right? Like that's just what the tournament's called.
It sounds about right.
Yeah, Euro Cup, right? Okay.
The Euros.
Yeah, okay. Thought I'd like there was like some fancier name I was missing. And I'm like, nope, it's really the most basic form for the most basic game. Beautiful game. I don't really watch a ton of soccer. Lost a lot of money on Champions League last week. I certainly did. That's here nor there. Prize Picks. Let's get going. I'm going to fade Jordan Spieth tomorrow at the Memorial. Probably an epic miscalculation, but he has that Prize Picks projection of 70, which is the lowest on the board. So we are going to fade that in an effort to have to find an over. And if I got to find an over, I'm probably going to go to the guys who have the lowest number to have to clear. So for me, it's Jordan Spieth over 70. We're going to mix it with Patrick Cantlay. Cantlay, if he's feeling good, then you want a piece of Cantlay at the Memorial. I mean, I'll break it down with Sky further in just a moment here. But if you think Patrick Cantlay is feeling good about his golf game right now or has positive vibes through his golf game right now, then he's probably going to have a really good week at Memorial. Certainly that's what history would tell us. I'm going to play Cantlay to the under at 70.5. What's going on? I tell you, I am in this orbit of it's pretty much a funeral in the city I live in because the Toronto Maple Leafs got eliminated. And people might not believe this, or might not know this about me. But once upon a time, the exact passion I have for the Chargers, I had for the Leafs. Like I did. But I made the healthiest decision probably of my life to forego any emotional investment in the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's probably one of the healthier relationships I have in my life, in that I can like watch them for entertainment and, you know, be happy if they win, not give a shit if they lose, and even enjoy making fun of them if they lose. Like, it's a really, really healthy relationship that I don't really have. Arguably one of the more healthy relationships I have in my entire life is my current relationship with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But it is a city in mourning, I tell you. And in my lifetime, nothing. They've done a lot of things to embarrass, you know, me when I lived and died with everything. This city, I don't that you know, this club's losing to a Zamboni driver. I promise you. I promise you. Like it absolutely does. That's a Disney movie. Like fuck a Disney movie. The Zamboni driver shit. This is a Canadian heritage moment. And many of you won't have a clue what that means, but any Canadian knows exactly what I'm talking about. There are these commercials that run that they're like scenes. They're like 90-second commercials, 1-minute commercials that like are scenes of great moments in Canadian history. From simple to like James Naismith like inventing basketball and knocking the ball out with a peach with a the peach bucket with a stick, to like, you know, more in-depth like scenes in war, but just important moments in the history of this nation, depicted in short commercial film. That's even an industry. I don't know. This felt like a Canadian heritage moment, them losing like that to the Habs. So I lament. So I'm just surrounded by this like vibe of everyone hates everything, and today's just day 2 of the longest off season in sport. That's about it. That's about it. Yeah, no one gives a shit about them. At least if you're watching me, you probably don't give a shit about them, and you're probably wondering why I even spoke about them. Skylar Hoke, Team FTN, FTNDaily.com, FTN Bets. He continues to break it all down. He's got action this week on 3 golf tournaments, probably four golf tournaments to be exact, because I'm sure there's like some Corn Ferry event that Skylar's also invested in, European Tour Porsche Open, as well as the U.S. Women's Open. I have made a bet on the Women's U.S. Open. I'll share it all with you guys here. I spoke about it on the Mayo Show this week. No secret who I will be betting. Nonetheless, getting ready to talk everything in the world of golf with me right now. Skylar, what is up, my man? I think I should like cue them in better, but that's my fault.
Geoff, what's up, brother?
Yep.
Sky, what's going on, buddy?
How are you? Long time no talk. I missed you.
Yeah, it's been a long time. A lot has happened. I feel like we've even probably seen a couple majors. And you know what? I don't really care to get in. Thought about it. I'm not really going to talk to Sky about Brooks and Bryson. That'll all come to a head the next time they're actually playing, and we'll see how real this is.
Yes.
Because as long as we go more weeks with like CBS not even wanting to acknowledge it on broadcasts, I don't even care if they're playing. I think you could interview Charlie Hoffman after he shoots a 65 on a Thursday, ask him about his round for 2 minutes, get all his highlights, and then literally talk about like the story every golf fan talks about. But no,
Yes.
they have no interest in doing that. So we will see, and I'm sure we can break that down more, unless you got something you really want to say. But Skylar, you, my friend, I mean, you've hit enough winners, so you'll probably get over it and enjoy the moment. But you were like banging the drum hard for Phil Mickelson at Wells Fargo. Like, I was thinking about you. We saw people that like were crazy enough to make the bet. Even my buddy made a big live bet on Thursday. It still felt Friday afternoon. Like, it still felt like a loser. I was like, okay, like that's a great number, and I'm happy for you. But like, you know, it still feels like, you know, I'm only maybe saying this because I didn't get in on the action of like the 10,000 to 1 odds or something. You got mayoed again on this golfer. You know, you leave your phone for a half hour, you miss all the fun. Miss all the fun. But like, it's literally like, okay, like you guys have that bet. Like, it's still like good luck. Like, you know?
For sure.
But you said it, you made all those points about Phil with Wells Fargo, and you talked me into like even putting him in like some props because the win was a huge ask. And I don't even know that he cashed them, but you saw like some ceiling golf there. But what killed me, like even through all of it, was like the post-round comments that he is so like far from his concentration is so like lost.
Yeah.
That like, okay, like he's playing well, and that's something he's working on. To go from like thinking something that's crucial to succeeding, especially in a major, is like is so far gone at the moment. It was beyond my comprehension.
Yep.
It's like we're living in a goddamn simulation. Even when I think about it again, now I am happy. I enjoyed it. If I'm not going to win a bet, like that's as great as a thing for golf as possible.
Yep.
And there's certain bets I'd probably forego. Maybe, if I was running hotter in a season to just, nope, that was like worth whatever I would have won. I've spoken a lot here, but do you feel, I don't even mean to rub it in. You hit enough,
No.
but do you feel like you missed it? Like we're a week early. Like I'm here, I'm going to talk to you about Woodland in a couple minutes. I have a long range US Open future on him. And part of me, like I have like, just maybe I got to bet Gary Woodland because like I don't want him to pop before I think he's going to pop, or at least like I thought he would pop at Christmas, and he's in form. Possible. Yeah. So back to my question. Do you feel like you missed
it's tough because I think there was enough there. To your point, I don't think it was completely out of the blue that he came through, but there was the correlating factors, the approach game, there was life in him, but then we also showed up at Quail Hollow, which was like, okay, Phil can do this. Of all spots that we maybe thought, that was like the X factor. Like, okay, he can chip here, he can putt here. We know his game. If he brings the rest along, okay. But what really like, stung a little bit was it was live after 18 holes, first round leader by 2 strokes, and it was dead by Saturday morning. So it was like maybe he doesn't have 72 holes in him. And I think it was you guys talked about it on Monday, or maybe just Pat was talking about how Sam Burns went from like 2 good rounds a week to 3 good rounds a week, or maybe it was even you that brought it up. And then it was, he is now putting together 4 consistent rounds every week, and it was progression, and you could have still got a good number when he won. Phil went from 1 to 4 rounds in the matter of a snap of a fingers. And like, you had no chance if you didn't just keep the faith. And there wasn't enough for me that would have been like, oh man, at Kiowa, like this is it.
That's
so
the thing, Kiowa feels like Royal St. George's. Maybe like, okay, I can like maybe like figure this out because Darren Clark won here, and I bet Phil a week ago Wells Fargo. Like it's Kiowa, like, and at least like it didn't. A lot of guys on that scorecard are just very consistent players. Like Louis, not necessarily the longest, but definitely long enough. So yeah, but it was an intimidating place to think. Yeah, and any pre-tournament bet to me is just like a guy that. He's just like betting it to like have a Phil Mickelson bet because
for sure,
yes, the 8 golfers he knows.
Yep,
and like I can't like you literally people might be like, I don't know, like Phil, like I've never seen his odds so big. I don't know what's happened in the last X amount. Like probably didn't even know he went and won on the senior tour
for sure.
But hey, credit to I don't know. It's still crazy to think about it, but you're right. It happened so quick. And to the other side of it, Ricky's shown a little bit of life, Sky. And like there was like 200, 180 at the PGA, and we're just going right into a range with good players who are playing well, like say Gary Woodland, Emiliano Grillo. I'm seeing some places the same number as like Charlie Hoffman. You couldn't be playing any more consistent. Like Charlie Hoffman's did what Ricky done for like 2 months.
Yes.
So like Ricky, they've literally just put him back to, they've just put him back. Like, I don't want back, I guess you'd say be like 35 or like with Finau or something. You know what I mean? But like, just put him back to like respectable golfer again. Like he's kind of gotten the Spieth treatment without like actually being Spieth.
For sure. For sure. And the life was that like, I mean, that's the thing of, these golfers, to your point, in that range, the Grillos, Hoffmans, 2 golfers that I bet last week that I'm on this week that, it is something where we're still getting enough juice in these numbers that it's not like they're unbettable, and there's still enough in their game right now. It's like, okay, it's close. We know it's coming. And I mean, Ricky, everything was awesome at the PGA Championship. It's a bummer he missed the final putt on 18, or else, that would have been a little bit bigger. But man, I mean, yeah, to now jump in on him after you miss the run of of odds that just never was given to us. So I agree. It's not deserved yet by any means, besides just popularity.
Yeah, it's weird to me. You make the point, like, no, you can feel comfortable going in on some of those guys. You mentioned those two, like Woodland, I
Yep.
guess for me would be the guy
For
in
sure.
that range that I lean to. We'll get, I guess, deeper into it when we go through it. But yeah, I don't know. They're not gonna let and people are betting Ricky, and I love Ricky, and I'll be sad like if I miss the 65-1, like I'll be pretty sad, because in the end, like it like is big enough, wasn't like right, but it was like big enough, but just doesn't feel like Ricky's got knocked. Yeah, Ricky's just been put to a place where guys have just been really consistent. It's a strong field. The approaches are strong though, man. Okay, I guess like no further ado, we could get into it. You know what? Hold on a second.
Yeah, hit me.
US Women's Open. I've bet Brooke Henderson.
Me too.
Like 800. You do too?
I'm on Brooke. I like
Yeah.
Brooke a lot this week.
Yeah, it's my one bet. I missed the party. Maybe I should still get in on the super long. Yeah, I don't know. She's my girl.
Yeah.
So Brooke, long, difficult, like it just works. She's got a very strong. She almost has like a Xander Schauffele major resume, but with a win. So I got no issues backing her. By that I just mean, like, I was looking at a lot of top tens. Like, she's consistently like can perform on these courses. But what other is Brooke your shortest bet?
Yeah, so she's 28, I think was the best number that I saw for her. One of the Jutanagarn sisters. So I'm on Moria. There's Aria and Moria. So Moria is 28 as well. Those would be the two of probably my favorite bets that I feel on the LPGA outside of that long shot. I mean, Mayo sent the entire odds industry into free fall when he sent that tweet. 365 pulled down the odds. So I'm excited for Rachel Heck. It's a huge opportunity. She's the one, collegiate player of the year, Stanford, in the area. So I think she's, what these girls were, these best ones were when they were amateurs. So, and we've seen amateurs contend at these. I'm just excited for the Olympic Club too. I mean, of US Opens, I think they said today there's been 4 golfers that have finished 72 holes under par here. So it is going to be quite the test for these girls.
Can you say that one more time for me?
At the Olympic Club? Yeah, the quotas. So when Webb won at 1 or 2 over. So they said in 72 holes at the Olympic Club, there's only been 4 golfers that have ever finished under par.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, that's going to be great. Like, I think you're going to have to scramble. It's not where you can, like, Brooke is long, but Brooke is also pretty straight, and she just hammers greens in regulation. Her putter gives out, this and that, but she putted the lights out when she won recently. I was surprised, actually. She was still 28-1. Like, DraftKings had her 14 and FanDuel had her like 29. So I think Brooke's a very value bet. So yeah, I'm excited for her, but yeah, the course should be great. And, but no, I think, supporting the ladies golf and getting into it, I think there's clearly odds discrepancies all across tours if you spend the time kind of researching into them.
Yeah. And Mayo, I don't know what he actually ended up putting out, but like sometimes, just take you behind the curtain. He like he'll put those bleeps in when I don't even like say things that are like bleep worthy, like just because getting you guys thinking like, what the F did Fienberg say? And then my mind always goes, well, now you do that. Like they've literally thought I've said the worst thing possible. Yeah, no. So like it may have come off like I said, because I made a comment about too much like women's hockey on in Canada, but I'm all for the golf. I love it.
Yeah.
I bought one of those hoodies to support them with the charity. I got 2 girls of my own. I got no I could watch it all, and I believe what ESPN, right? Like it's gonna be,
Peacock and NBC. I think it's Peacock and NBC because it's the US Open, I believe. I know Peacock has it to start.
but they're gonna just. I think like it's gonna be on all day. Will it not?
It's prime time. So because it's in the West Coast. So I think coverage is I think it starts at 2, but it goes like on Golf Channel or whatever the main channel will be, like till 11 p.m. I think, because that's when it could wrap up, if there's sunlight till then. So I'll tweet out the coverage tomorrow. It's a good idea because people should watch it. I think it'll be a really fun event.
And I got to tell you, at 10:02, I got an email from the Masters saying you can submit your applications for
Really?
22
Okay.
tickets. So just get I'm, prepared to take another L there, but I mean, how could you not? How could you not?
Oh gosh,
enter?
yeah.
And on done with the ladies for a second.
Yeah.
Just remind me what is going on with the men this week and the holes in the format
In Europe?
Yeah, the start time.
Yeah. So this was what happened. So I've had to figure this out a little bit. So they were in Denmark last week, played a normal event Thursday through Sunday, but they made the announcement that anybody Germany has like strict travel restrictions on the UK. So any golfer who has been in the UK in the last 10 days, you have to spend 10 days outside of the UK until you get into Germany. So any golfer that, if you were Sunday and then you traveled on Monday to Denmark, that 10 days doesn't come up till Friday. So they had to push the tournament back to a Saturday start. So any golfer that was in the UK can't arrive till Friday. Then they tee off on Saturday and they shorten it to 54 holes because they don't want things to go till Tuesday and then have to travel, because either guys play the US Open 10 days later or they play the Henrik Stenson, Annika Sorensen are hosting like a mixed event the next European Tour week. So golfers couldn't even show up there till the day before. So it's all kind of hectic, but it seems that Answer and Casey, because they were over here stateside, have no issues. It's just the UK, from my understanding.
Sounds like Germany is a lot like Canada at the moment.
Yeah.
So Saturday is going to be 2 rounds.
No, so they are going to do a Monday finish. So they're going to go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 54 holes. So we'll have Monday golf.
A cut after 36.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Monday golf.
So I think it just screams
I'm gonna make some bets. I haven't made any bets, but I'm gonna make sure I make them all on my street book, because those won't show up until next week's ledger.
Perfect.
When they clear.
Yes.
The problem is if someone wins, then there'll be so many days to burn that money.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, I guess my chance of hitting a winner is essentially if Sky's going to hit a winner. And last week, Guido did it again.
Hey, do you know that he's officially in the US Open now?
Yes, I saw that. The announcers were like, watch out, America. Guido's coming.
Yeah.
I could see you and Axis fist pumping.
Oh, yes.
In my mind as they made that announcement. So that is pretty exciting.
He's turned a corner, man. Back-to-back seconds. I mean, he should have beat Richard
Got to get
Bland.
into this this tournament with
you. Let's talk Memorial.
Kelly Mayo, I wanted to talk to you for a while about like how you would rank the young Europeans, but I don't know. We got to do that another time.
For sure.
Because I don't know who the hell. Like I see these guys and I think they're like all great, and then like in the end, like you're not really like sure which ones like are actually.
We'll do it before the Open Championship or like the Scottish swing and everything.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just curious how they all fit in, but that's just me and my boring golf brain. So the Memorial under 20-1. There's no way you made a bet there, I assume.
I didn't. I mean, I was tempted. I know you started with Cantlay. Like, I think Cantlay, probably the two that stood out to me. I think they get the past winner, maybe Hideki because it's been so long ago, but I thought Hideki and Cantlay were the two that stood out the most for me. I think you bet Xander with it too. And it's prototypical, their game should fit Muirfield Village with the redesign. Everything shouldn't change anything from what they were. Is it enough for me to bite on the 22 of what we saw at Kiowa from Cantlay? If he has that game again, he's right there, of course. But I'm with you on a golfer at 28-1. I think that's I can't believe I guess I didn't really realize it was going to be a storm of all of us betting this.
Yeah,
Is
I don't
Finau
know. That'll
doing
be
it?
fun. I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable about it. I'm not gonna lie. Memorial, much like Riviera, this will be my season in a nutshell, Skylar. If Victor or like Neiman beat Finau in a playoff.
Yeah.
Like that will just that is sort of how I'm projecting this week to go. But Finau works so well for me at Memorial. I know there's the whole case of what he can and can't do. If you're smart enough, even if like you don't play each ways, you could probably talk yourself into like maybe this is a bet I just do make an each way on, but that's not really my move. I'm not like I know someone wants to do it. That's like the prudent move. I would say, and I don't know, Cantley, Schauffele. I'm going to be out on Schauffele for the U.S. Open, and I figured I would give him one more crack right here, as it's been well documented what he does well, and the fact that the 450-yard par scoring, the bunker play. How prolific he is in par five scoring ranks. He really does everything here. So I don't know. I bet him at the PGA Championship, and I'm letting him redeem himself. But
Yeah.
I as a whole feel like we are going like the winner, not so much in terms of age and like the breakthrough aspect, but the betting board the winner will be prototypical of recent Memorial betting boards, if not lower, like if not like just from the top group as well.
I feel like yeah, I don't see that much difference.
I'm not scared of
under
it. That's
30.
the weird part. Like there's
Yep.
really like I would never feel more Sunday, but like I've never felt more confident in if I had one of those guys, their chances of taking down one of the big fish. And I know it's easy to say after the fact, no one Sunday last week that like Kokrak was going to take this guy down.
Mm-hmm.
This did not seem to. And listen, the only thing in its Spieth that like you felt could bump, other than Kokrak's Fienberg bunker play, the only thing you felt like that was going to stop him was like the magic, like that, like something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that never kind of happened. That never happened there, and it's so silly that like you're expecting it, like you actually count on it when you bet on Spieth. It's like part of the process of like, no, like I'm going to hole like the 1 in 30 chip like today. Like that's in the process of doing that. It's so I don't know who else you would bet. Like I'd never like if I bet on John Rahm or Bryson or JT, I would never. I mean, I'd hope I'd have when you make a bet that low, you have expectations of how it's going to go. Certainly different than betting farther down the road. But I would never like wake up knowing like I know I'm getting something stupid today.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, to your point though, so Spieth's the best golfer in the world, arguably right now, with what the form he's lined up. And Kokrak would be somebody you would obviously he won at Shadow Creek, and like that was a big win, but like those two going head to head, these mid-range odds guys. I mean, what else could have you asked of anybody? Phil just did it to Brooks not that long ago. Who's like that? You know what I mean? Like,
no, you're right. And
there's,
I mean, yes, I'm also dumb enough to think there's some law of averages here, Sky, that like we gotta get back to under 40-1.
Yeah.
Because even going to Spieth was the last guy, like under 40-1. To run them off from Sync to KH, like felt like what the hell? Like to me, like not like it's gotta. it's gotta stop. Maybe that's the reason like I'm ice, because that's like where the winners kind of come.
Mhm.
And that's, I'm not gonna bet like, man, that's my own fault in many ways. But like, and obviously Raw, I'm like, you feel like it's the smallest fix before he becomes like back to that guy. But like,
Yep.
you track Rom's rounds, and there always seems to be like a momentum saving putt that he would always like make with such a higher rate. And I'm not talking about like a 20-footer. Like, I'm talking about like
Mhm.
8-10-footer. Like, those are not going in for him right now. And a lot of guys have their own issues at the top. We could go through it, and a lot of people want to fade Bryson this week in a big way. So we'll see.
Because I mean, I think me personally, the U.S. Opens are my favorite major of the year. But so I'm hoping it just all comes to fruition there. But this week could have it in store too.
Yeah. And your boy, I don't know at all. I'll be guilty of saying I wish I like looked a month ago, 3 weeks ago. Well,
Have done a better job of not just hammering that many futures cards. We used to show up on the Monday of a major
yeah.
and be like,
Like I and usually like I'm in football, I have a great like, obviously trust me, there's plenty of Sundays in NFL where I take it in the nuts. It's football. I suck at it like you do. I don't mean you, I'm talking to my friends watching. Um, I don't know. The Masters was so late that like my mind could never go to the 2021 Masters or the 2021 US Open or the PGA. Like like as long as that Masters was in October, if I was making a futures bet, it was on that Masters.
mm-hmm.
And so like that really, and then that ended, and it's like 3 weeks to Christmas, and then Pat wants to do a preview show because it's New Year's. I was like, I don't freaking have anything.
Yeah.
Or not that I don't have it. Yeah, normally I come into that show with a few bets. I didn't even
Yep.
come into that with anything. And we got those Neiman Open and Woodland, and we cashed out of our Tiger Open Championship bets before the accident. We're just like, I don't know, man. Just seems bait. If we see this sing any life, we'll like just make it again. But let's take our full cash out. So yeah, I guess we'll see with the major. But okay, so you're on fee now. It's scary. It's a little popular. How about over 30-1 for you?
Yeah,
Like
it's
30 to
it's
50.
just it's
Anything,
just
or are you
those.
just back to Hoffman and Grillo?
Yeah, I mean, I debated Neiman. I think you talked about him, how that would kind of be the one that right there for us that I,
Was
I
it just
just
the short game, like the
yeah,
scrambling here?
yeah, I think that has been troubling. It just hasn't been